Welcome. Today's lesson is going to be compiling data that has never been collected in GMM or any other format. And we're going to start by, you should have reviewed the video on creating a plan. I'm not going to go through how to create a plan and basically how to create a new parcel. There's videos covering most of this, but I'm going to quickly go in and show how to enter the data in just a rough format for entering it as a township. We will enter it as a township, then we'll enter the sections. This first portion of the video will be on the township boundary. So you should be in a edit session, which we are by all our tools are lit up, and we're going to start with new parcel. Okay, now you could have a control point to start at, you could have an adjoiner township to start at or whatever, but I prefer to just start, enter the data, go around, and then join the data to where I want it to go. So in this case, we're going to start, we want to look at our properties, we want to make sure our template is PLSS Township. It is, but depending whether you're doing a section or second division or whatever type of new parcel, you want that template. Now our plan, I would highly recommend that you highlight it, right click, go to properties, and the last thing I clicked on was corrections, and be sure that when you're entering cadastral data that it uses true mid bearings and that's checked on. I have noticed that sometimes going in and out of ArcMap it loses this and it may not be there, so you want to be sure you're in true mid bearings so when you close a polygon you get a correct closure. Okay, everything is looking good so far. We're going to set this plan as our active plan. I have it set up in chains. And now we're going to go to our lines, and this is just to demonstrate how we're going to start. I'm just going to start here just to demonstrate how to enter the data. We're going to head due west, so we're going 90, 4 for the quadrant. Distance, we're going 40 chains. Notice it repeats your bearing, so as long as you're on that same bearing, you can continue just by entering, or if you need to change the bearing, you just edit here by clicking on this, then you can edit it. I'm still going to go 40 chains. Now we're going to go north. And I'm going to go 40 chains. Now we're going to go east. Still going to go 40 chains. And we're going to close out the polygon by heading due south, but we're going to go in 20 chain increments. And I'm going to be closing on 1 so that I can get a closure on this to my beginning point, and I will click enter. Now we've closed it out using mid bearings or mean bearings. We have our closing bearing, we have our closing distance, basically just under 2 links. This is basically a section, 640 acres. You can click on report. It's basically going to give you pretty much the same information, telling you you're working in chains, number of lines, total length, your end coordinates based on where it's sitting at this point. So we'll say OK. Now I'm not going to save this. I've already built the entire township and it's unjoined. This polygon is unjoined at this time. But I'm going to discard this and just show you how, based on the entire township, how you can join it back to your ArcMap drawing. So I'm just going to close this, It's going to ask me if I want to save it or discard. If you were building it to save, you would definitely click save. I'm going to discard, I discard. Okay, now for any unjoined polygons, when you click on Parcel Explorer up here, this will open it and it will give you joined. It'll give you parcels and it'll give you unjoined parcels. So I click on it and you can see I have parcels and unjoined parcels. I have a couple sections I already worked on in here that I unjoined, but here is the township 40 north 30 east that I want to join back into this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab this line kinda, and I want to drag it a little closer to where I'm going to join it to. So to join it, we need to create join links. If you use auto join, it doesn't necessarily always work. So basically you'll just need to click on your tool, click on something on the so that I can get my tools lit up. You have your tools here, keep and join, and then you have just keep changes, but they're unjoined. So at this point in time, I want to keep and join. I just had just click on the screen to get it back, but you notice it came back in with green squares for the points and the lines in green. So now you want, when you're going to join a parcel, there's this tool right here, join a parcel or group of parcels, and you manually create the join links. Now I had abstracted these at 20 chains or the closing distance that matched here, that matched between these two plats. And this is an offset. This north line is a standard parallel. I abstracted those distances in for the closing corners, much like we did in GMM. So all I'm going to do is click, make sure I have this tool, and I'm going to start creating my links to join this back together. Now it doesn't matter which direction you go, so you can kind of just go along and stitch this together. And doing it this way with the abstractions and the distances and stitching it together this way pretty much ensures edge match. Okay? I have experimented with just leaving intermediate points out and matching. At times it will create those intermediate points on the polygon that you're connecting to, and at other times it has not. This way I have found there is no error in where it's actually matching to. I'm going to have to move this up a little and over. You know, as you can move it, still shows all your links. Okay. Well, maybe it's okay. There we go. We have all our links now. This was compiled coming in, entering the data just as I demonstrated in the early part of the video. Now you want to, when you're moving this unjoined polygon, you want to hold fabric points, or fabric points held fixed, line points moved to lines, meaning these points of your polygon are going to move to it. If you click on this other one, it's going to take all of this and move it to wherever your new parcel, your new polygon is. So in this case, there may be instances you want to do that, but in this case we want our polygon to move to the existing data or to the existing control points that we may already have in here to tie this new data to. So all we do is we click on Join and wait. Don't worry about it saying not responding. That's a common issue in ArcMap. It's still working. Okay, it's completed. We can see that it appears to be edge matched all along there. Doesn't appear that we have any double lines. I'm going to go ahead and close this. And we're going to zoom in, let's say, on any one of these points. Since they were all abstracted, everything should be tied together without any error. And we're beyond one, a ratio of 1 to 1,000, which is basically a little under the actual display accuracy in ArcMap. And we can see we have single lines. Nothing looks doubled. When you see these lines like end to end but offset, that's a single line. Now when there's a double line, you'll see these overlap each other. But other than that, that's pretty much it. As quick as you can punch the data in, you can enter it. It didn't take that long to create the links. And basically, I created the data the same way for a section. And I'm going to show you that now because I'm going to go ahead and bring this section 36 in. I had created it. I had my properties when I created it were actually section. And you can see my lines. You can see where I come across the north because 80 and 13 chains coming across the north line of the section. And I went ahead and abstracted 20 chains in. And I started at the quarter corner of the section. So all I really want to do here is I want to join my, there we go, got my tool. So I click on Keep and Join. I kept my changes before and left it unjoined. Actually, I joined it, then unjoined it. But I'm going to keep and join. So I'm going to click on Keep and Join one more time. It's basically just stitching it in. So I want to leave my fabric points held because the township is in the position I want it to be in. I'm going to get my, what I'll call my stitching tool or the links for joining. And I'm going to start with this section corner to this section corner on the township line. Quarter corner, township corner, and then just come up those 16ths, abstracted in by record. And you see I have all my links. Once again, you can see I can move it all around. My links maintain. No matter what I do, it still shows that my links are valid. So I say join. Okay, and it joined. And I don't know whether you noticed when I first brought it in, but you do have the closure here. Whenever you close the polygon, you're in mid-bearings. If you close a polygon and you want to be in mid-bearings and you close and it comes out 0, you are probably not in mid-bearings. That section that we just joined back in, we can see the closing bearing, basically 17.5 links and the precision, which is well above the precision for the day. So either they were doing good survey work or they were good at pencil whipping. But in any case, you just keep repeating this process, stitching sections in until you get your township complete. and the next video will probably be on subdividing sections. So that will conclude today's compiling uncollected data and how to enter it. Until the next video, goodbye.